What to do, good people? It's your boy, the minister, the reverend, the chaplain, Jay Whitfield Inspires, coming back at you once again with another video. And y'all know how I like to do it. We're going to get right into it. So let's talk about it. Okay? I get this question all the time. I got my notes. I'm looking around. Why do Virgo men disappear after y'all get close and then pop back up like nothing ever happened? So let's break it down. Like I say all the time, Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, the planet of communication, but don't get it twisted. It's not just because they know how to talk or the lack thereof, it just doesn't mean they're always going to be verbal with the words, but verbal with their actions and emotions and things like that. So let's take part one. What I got written down here, the disappearing act. See, when a Virgo man starts to feel something real, deep, or even overwhelming, his first instinct is to retreat. I do it all the time. I don't know why we do. Now, I just don't know why we do this, but we just kind of retreat, pull back. Maybe because we get nervous, we have to think and stuff like that. But it's not because we don't care, but it's more so we're trying to process, right? I have to process what's going on, these new feelings, all this stuff. What's going on? I got to process. I got to think about it. It's just how we are, y'all. So he's analyzing the connection. He's analyzing your energy. He's analyzing his feelings, and he's probably rereading like every text message, every this, every that, every interaction between y'all to really see what it is. I hope I ain't talking too fast. He just want to know what's really going on. And yeah, he may ghost a little bit in the process, right? And I know that ain't cool. But it's not always malicious, because he really just trying to grab a hold. You could call it butterflies, right? Or puppy love. You know how people, when you're younger, you have butterflies, you go and come a little bit. It's kind of, Virgo's kind of like that. Really, 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 for real. All right. The processor, the internal processing. Virgo men and women, really, we internalize everything, everything. So we don't just want to say the wrong thing, or move too fast or get like messy emotionally, instead I'll say this, instead of talking through it, we tend to go silent, right? And I know that ain't cool, but I'm giving you a breakdown of why and what's going on. Not necessarily saying it's right or wrong, but it's just giving you a breakdown. So we go silent. We thinking we're protecting both of us, like you and me, but really it's probably hurting somebody. You know what I'm saying? So if you are someone who needs like communication and reassurance, this behavior from Virgo men gonna drive you crazy. It really is. It's not gonna be good for you because you're gonna be aggravated, gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be a lot of things. But I'm gonna give you the information so you can know what's really going on with them. Right? All right. Let's talk about the return. All right, so we talked about how he gets up and on, not up and on, but he gets a little emotional or he gets a little energetically off the wall and he kind of disappears, right? What make him come back? Let's talk about that. Out of nowhere, boom, he's back. And you like, you just talked to me like a week and now you're back all of a sudden. Acting normal. Like y'all didn't just go 2 weeks without talking to each other, without saying a word, right? See, that's because in his mind, he has solved the issue. He did the work internally, and now he's ready to pick things back up. But are the keys there to the car, right? He ready to drive again, but the keys still there. He skipped telling you about any of that. He skipped telling you about anything he was going through, anything that he had going on. He just popped back up, ready to go. And I know for most people, that's not right. Well, that's not right for anybody. But again, I'm just breaking it down for you why they disappeared and then come back like nothing happened. Because he disappeared because he's working it out. It's not right, but he's working it out in his mind. But in his mind, he has worked it out. This is the return when he comes back. So in his mind, he has worked it out. And now he's like, hey, I worked it out. It's all good. But that working out didn't include you, didn't include communication. It didn't include anything. It was just nothing. But that's Virgo for you. you know, because when we do that, we tend to just do it on our own. We have to process it on our own. But this is what you got to do when he comes back. So what to do when a Virgo man reappears? You got to set boundaries. You got to ask questions and be honest about how the silence made you feel. That's really with any relationship. Now, I'm not a relationship expert. I'm just talking about men and Virgo men, okay? But typically these are the things that works with us because we are so accustomed to doing things our own way. And it doesn't mean that we don't care about nobody else. We just really stuck in our ways. You know, we are set, we are grounded, we are earth sign, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at these trees and plants behind me. They grounded, you know what I'm saying? They accustomed to getting things done the same way all the time. You know, they stuck, you know. But again, you have to set, when he returns, you have to set boundaries. You have to ask questions. And you have to be honest about how his silence made you feel. Because honestly, we don't want to hurt nobody. One of Virgo's greatest one thing that scares us is hurting people. We don't like hurt people, believe it or not. So you might say, oh, his ghosting and all this stuff is hurting me, but that's not his intention. And honestly, he probably don't think that he's hurting you. He probably think that he's doing the right thing. I'm telling you, because we need it so bad. We need this silence so bad. And our greatest challenge is always trying to balance this stuff out. So let him know how it made you feel. You know, let him know that it hurt you. Let him know so he can learn and grow. It may not happen overnight, but he will learn and grow with you. You know what I'm saying? He will understand you. He'll adjust. He'll gotta fix it. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Okay. But don't let the connection slide just because it feels good again. You know, make sure y'all on the same page before you press play again. And this is what I mean. Like, he's back, everything feels good, and you just kind of let stuff slide. Nah, you got to keep talking about it. You got to keep bringing it up because, I mean, he had to learn. He had to learn how things make you feel. Before you press play again, you just got to be some understanding, man. You know, chances are he probably gonna do it again, but he will improve over time. You talking about somebody who has this behavior, has this habit all his life. If he's 35, 40 years old, 25 years old, he's been doing that up until that age. So habits and behaviors don't change overnight, but you should see improvement, okay? You should see improvement. So look, Virgo men can love deeply, but they do it carefully. They do it real carefully. You know, they're very strategic about the stuff they do. They're very nitpicky about the stuff they do. They're very practical. So if you're dealing with one, like I say all the time, patience and communication are key. Deal with a Virgo man. Y'all can't talk today. I don't know what's going on. It's been a long day. But don't ignore your own needs in the process. And this is with anybody, not just Virgo men, because it's a two-way street, you know. And y'all know I talk about what Virgo men are all the time, but I don't talk about it in a way of you should ignore what you have going on or you should know your feelings. I talk about it in a way so you can get an understanding of just who this person is. So it's like a scientific breakdown without the right or wrong. You know, now some stuff is right, some stuff is wrong, you know, and things like that. But that's mainly what a Virgo man is. You just have to understand him. He has to understand you too. And so, but this is why he make things really intense and then disappear and then come back. Also, what I say in almost every video, sometimes that onslaught of energy exchange between y'all, it kind of wears them out too. You know, Virgo's all about energy, but they have a low capacity for like romance and stuff like that because their brains work so fast and they internalize so much and they process so much till they just like short circuit. Y'all hear me say this a lot. And so some of that comes from, he just have to take a break from you. And it doesn't mean you did anything wrong. He just have to reboot. I have to do it all the time. Like, I'm telling you, we get filled up with people's energy very quickly and we get burnt out. I'm telling you, this is an accurate thing. We get burnt out very quickly. So you have to pace yourself with Virgo. And it's all good. You know, even if you get burnt out, it doesn't mean, it's not really a bad thing for you. It's just a normal thing in life. Like, Virgos are more like sprinters than marathon runners, right? A sprinter gonna give you all you got for that 100-yard dash or that 4x4 relay, but that's kind of all they got. They need to rest up to do it again. A marathon runner can do that, but not fast. They can just go and go and go and go and go and go, right? And so when it comes to energy in particular, like and stuff like that, Virgos are like sprinters. They can give you that good week, that good weekend, or whatever. You're gonna have the time of your life, and he probably gonna not talk to you for a few days. You know what I'm saying? Because he need to recoup. He really need to recoup that energy and recoup all that, just everything he's giving to you. It's not easy. You really need to understand for Virgo men, it's not easy. And ladies, y'all are full of emotion too. Y'all can just go and go and go, it feels like. But you gotta understand that you're dealing with a low capacity emotional person. And this is not a right or wrong thing. Now, this is a 100% thing. People different, everybody different. And just because you can deal with it, don't mean he can deal with it. It doesn't mean that he's wrong. You just gotta communicate on what you can handle. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Virgo men are low emotional capacity persons. You know, they can't take a lot when it comes to romantic, that is. So yeah, I hope that helps somebody. Y'all know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. If you need to talk to me, hit the link in the description below in the description box. And yeah, share this video, man. And we're gonna make it happen. We out.